I'm Sam Dingman.
And I'm Mac Montandon.
And on our new podcast, The Rumor, we're trying to figure out if the Orioles faked a power outage in 1997.
The answer involves Baseball Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr., Hollywood Hall of Famer Kevin Costner, and a renegade cop who goes by Mad Dog. We're going to try to unravel this mystery before this mystery unravels us.
Listen to The Rumor on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Sponsored by WinBet.
Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out of the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat podcast, brought to you by our sponsors Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Dr. Squatch, where first-time orders are $20 or more. Use promo code I'mFat20 to save 20%. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow Fat and Sue, Jay Zawoski. I'm going to keep that going at least for another week. Yeah, because, you know, Jay's a suit and has to wear collared shirts at work now.
Yeah, I wore a 3/4 zip yesterday.
That's true.
Casual Friday.
Yeah, that barely counts as a collared shirt. So fair enough.
All right, good.
But yeah, so this is a big week, man. Yesterday was huge for us and for Culver's, I guess, but mostly for us.
Can we? All right, stop yourself first and foremost. We have all our propers to do. We're gonna do those. But first, congratulations are in order for you.
Oh yeah. Oh God. So it's been so long since I knew, and then that it got announced that like I kind of forgot.
Well,
in that regard,
you know what you get. Rick is the new executive producer of the Bernstein and Rahimi Show. And it's incredibly well-deserved, and I'm very happy about it. And if it didn't happen, I was going to be super, super pissed. So congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate you leaving your job so that I could take it.
Yeah, sure. Completing the circle of fat.
Yes.
As you put it. We have a voicemail question about that later that we'll get into a little bit more. But yes,
okay.
It's great, man. I have always thought that this was the best thing for you to do in radio. Mm-hmm. Even when you and I worked together, you'd always be like, "Hey Jay, do you know the NFL draft is tomorrow?" I'd be like, "What? Oh crap, we should probably do something about that." Because, you know, for the last 8 years or so, I've probably been mailing it in a little bit just because I could do the job in my sleep.
Right.
So I knew when the NFL draft was. That was a slight exaggeration. But, now and again, Rick would remind me of a big thing coming up or give me an awesome suggestion. And no one consumes more sports media in the world than Rick. So he is perfect for this job. He's going to do awesome. And I'm excited for you to finally start.
Yeah, I know. So for everybody, because I don't think this matters to, keep private anymore. But like, so it got announced on Monday, but I found out the Tuesday before that. So I've pretty much, so I had to more or less keep it to myself for basically a week, and then was able to have the announcement and did the whole Twitter thing on Monday and all that stuff, and kind of been able to take a bit of a victory lap, before actually starting the job, which I'll do on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So, I'm pumped to get started because, obviously working with you, worked with Dan for a couple of years. So I've got that experience. I know working with Dan. I'm comfortable working with Dan. And then Layla's just a good friend. I enjoy listening to her on the radio. So it only makes sense that it should work out just fine. And the show's killing it anyway. So really I have to just go in there and accent things a little bit and not screw it up.
Yeah. Don't screw it up. That's your main job, but put your own touches on things. I noticed since I've left that Rankin has started to get a little more experimental with the sound. And I'm like, why wasn't he doing it? I wanted him to do that. I hope he wasn't doing it because I was there. I might be spotlighting a little bit on that, but he's doing a great job on the sound. And you're going to do a great job doing that. So it is funny. I love Mitch like a father, and like a father, my father drives me nuts sometimes, just like Mitch. And it's, for me, when I left, He's like, well, I need 3 weeks to fill your spot. Like,
Yeah.
understood. Cool. I understand. It's an important position. I'm happy to hold out. So 3 weeks go by. I start the new job. I am
Still
entering
nothing.
week 5 of my job at WBBM, and Rick starts next week. So Rick will be, it will have been 8 weeks since I accepted the job to the filling of the job.
Yeah.
So, that is the pace of the score. And
It's Odyssey because for me
that's true.
what's
what's
been
5 weeks to
happening?
interview 2 people. So
Yeah, so
Or
like
higher.
with I'm not even thinking that. I'm thinking what Mike Rankin's been doing since you left, which is like crazy for him, like being new to his own job and then having to help fill yours as well.
Yeah.
To a lesser extent for me with You Better You Bet, when Eli Hershkovich quit, for about the last month or so, I've been doing the same thing where I'm running the board and then I've been EPing that show while doing the interview process for your job. So it's just been like a whole lot of everything, but they still haven't filled Eli's job yet.
I'm sure we'll get around to it.
Yeah, right. At some point. So
Well, I'm happy for you. I know you're eager to start. I know you're going to do a great job. I know you're excited about the pay raise.
Oh, dude. Seriously, just to be like, okay, my bank account doesn't say impending doom every other week. That's really nice.
You just get a email of just a shaking your head gif from your
Pretty
bank.
much. Yeah.
Like, do you want to
Yeah.
close your account? There's nothing here.
Right.
It's like a picture of tumbleweed blowing by.
Tumbleweed and like a dime and 3 pennies.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah, like
something.
yeah, exactly.
But I remember
no.
like the days in college though when you had like I used to do this like even early days of the score. I had like 13.50 till Friday, and you find a way, man. You find a way. Like, all right,
Dude.
If I get the dollar menu, for breakfast, and that's good, and I can like if I do exactly this and nothing extra the entire week, I'll be okay.
Oh yeah, like, even like before I got laid off, I was there are the apps where you can like if you sign up, you can get your money like a day or two early.
Oh yeah, the borrowing things.
Yeah.
Was it shady or did it work?
No, it worked. It worked, and there was no extra fee or anything like that. So I mean, it legitimately worked out really well for me. But to knock on wood, hopefully not be in that situation anymore is definitely going to be really, really nice. So I'm happy. It's kind of crazy. Like looking back at it of like worked at the score for like 8+ years and then getting laid off. I mean, like, for as much as we talk, I had no idea if my career was over and I was going to have to find something else to do.
Right.
And then it just circumstance worked out where it's like, 3 part-time producers at the score quit in the same month. So I got a call from Mitch and it was, hey, like we need someone that can run a Cubs board with minimal training.
That's you.
That's me.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that like between that and then getting to move over to you Better You Bet and do stuff there, and then just like within 18 months be at like kind of one of my goals when I started is kind of wild.
Yeah. Well, you were like one of the people that was truly laid off.
Yeah.
We've seen people that were like, oh yeah, we're laying you off, but like we might have been looking for a reason to get rid of you for a while.
Right.
You were not one of the, not that it was any of the score people. I'm just saying
No,
in
just
general. You were one of the people that was truly laid off, and like it just had, of course it didn't have to happen.
Right.
Whoever's in charge of Odyssey could have gone with one less yacht, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But all right, here's my challenge for you.
Okay.
As your friend and as the fat person you're replacing, I want you to now assert yourself as a basketball authority because you know more about basketball than anyone I've ever seen. I mean that truly. So I want you to believe that about yourself, and I want you to take that thing by the balls and do it.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how to respond to that.
That's good.
But outside of thank you. But
it's funny.
but
Everyone
yeah.
I've talked to so many people during this interview process for my position. I actually just hired my 2 podcast producers this week, which is very, very cool. I got my number 1 and number 2 choices, which is like
Nice.
unprecedented. But like everyone I talk to, they're so like unsure of themselves. It's a really common thing where people are like, I just hope that I don't, I hope I'm qualified. I'm like, of course, like I've seen your work. I'm looking at your resume. I'm seeing that, like, I've gone and sampled what you've done. It sounds great. Like, why would you think that? And then I look at myself like, oh yeah. Every day I walk in like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue what I'm doing.
I know, right? Seriously. It's, like, I don't know necessarily what that's due to, if that's due to anything in particular, but I mean, it's just kind of what it is of like, and mind you, this is not to say anything negative of people that are like this, because like certain jobs require it, of just like, they're the people like us that are like unsure until we've like beyond a shadow of doubt proven we can do something. And then there are the people that are 100% comfortable faking it till they make it and have the ultimate belief in themselves. And it's like, I wish there was a happy medium we could somehow meet at, but they're successful people on both sides of the ledger, and it's just like, I wish I had a little bit of the blind confidence that some people do have, and like, tip of the cap to them for being able to have that. But no, I think I'm getting a little better with it.
Well, you should, because you know your stuff. And Shep and I used to talk about this all the time. Like, we would look around and say, like, who are the people with a lot of money that you know? Mm-hmm. And I think like I'm smarter than 85% of them.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, without hesitation. Mm-hmm. Like, if I was to list the people I know in my life that are like in my age group that are pretty well off. Yes. I am smarter than 85%. You are smarter than 80. Like, Shep is, and that's saying something. Shep is smarter than 85% of them. So it's like, you're capable. Yeah. I'm capable. Well, you and I will just remind each other of that. Like, when you get frustrated, right. And then one of my
thing we're too dumb to do is have interest that would actually get us paid more.
Yeah. Well, that's what this is for.
Right.
But we have Mike. There's a new girl who was hired at WBBM. I'll keep her name out of it because no one knows her, and I don't want to. Yeah. But she was hired like maybe a month before me for another job, and she came in, and we were just talking. She's like, there are some days I ask myself, why did I get hired? And from the first day, I've been like, wow, she's super impressive. She knows like, anytime I have a question, I ask her, and she's got a good answer, and you know what I mean? But even she has those moments of, wow, I don't really know what I'm doing. So we all have it. Anyway, this is not the therapy podcast. It's the I'm Fat podcast. It's time to talk about gooey Culver's curd burgers. And I was Curder burgers. I was so surprised I got mine.
Yeah, because I know you were like outside of our normal sweats. That was your big sweat yesterday. Was am I going to be able to get a Curder burger when I get home?
Yeah. So okay, I get off the train. I usually on a normal day I'm on the 4:08 train because I get in at 7:30 and I barely take a lunch, so I just work through the day. And then get on the 4:08 train, get off at like 4:48, and then it's like a 10-minute drive to Culver. So it's right about 5:00. I get there. There's a huge line. I'm like, ugh, I don't have a chance. So I'm maybe fifth in line behind the order window. So I get there and I say, do you have any Curder burgers left? And the guy says, I got to go check.
Oh, boy.
And it took maybe like 45 seconds.
That felt like 45 minutes.
Yes. Like the longest 45 seconds of my life. And I'm like, great, I'll take 2. So I got 2. And then I got the family size curds to bring home. I'm very upset with Addie. She did not finish her Curder burger. But she's got a little cold, so she's not feeling great. No COVID. She's had like 27 COVID tests because Hope is paranoid, and so am I. But she just has a little cold, so she didn't finish hers. But I got to say, man, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know if it could possibly live up to like the mental expectation of it.
Right.
But in terms of functionality and taste and execution, it was wonderful.
I think that was what I was most interested in was once I take a bite, and just like the level of the fry to it, like will it be crispy? Will I get a little bit of that texture in every bite, along with obviously the melted cheese? And very happy to say that I did.
Yeah.
Like it was really, really good. So, and like I said this when I was on Bernstein Rahimi giving my review of it, because, why not? That it almost gives like a Juicy Lucy vibe to it.
Yeah. Yes, it does. That's a good call. It did do that a little bit. It did make it, and you'll hear we're going to play a bunch of the reviews during the voicemail segment. A lot of people mentioned the gooiness and the instability of it. It did sort of have an impact on the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the stability of the burger itself.
Okay.
I'm not complaining. I don't know if
Right.
that could be an everyday item. It seems like a lot of work.
Right. Yeah, it definitely does. I'd be surprised if it could be an everyday item. Maybe instead of like just on the one day, maybe it's like an October thing.
Right.
You know, maybe that ends up being a thing. Like just like a still for more than one day, but still a limited time. Maybe that's possible. But yeah, like for me, when I took that first bite, a little bit of the cheese started coming out of the other side of the patty. However, it wasn't enough to where I felt like I was like losing out on getting cheese in every bite.
Mm-hmm.
So it was still fine for me. And maybe like I know some people had different experiences, and considering how busy a lot of these places were, you know, let's be honest, like I'm sure for some people, maybe some of theirs kind of got rushed and whatever. Maybe not the ideal experience, but you know, considering how rushed everybody was, it's not the most surprising thing in the world to hear that. And, you know, people are people and things are going to happen. However, like for me, and I went around, it was like 11. It was like 11 a.m. that I went. And it was like I said, like pretty much perfect for what they'd be looking for. So that's a huge success. And yeah, I would absolutely get one of those again.
Yeah. I wish it was the weekend and not just one day.
Yeah.
Because I'd probably get
that
another
would've been
one
nice.
between now and then. But by the way, something cool I noticed about Culver's, I ordered mine plain because I didn't want all the lettuce and all that junk on there.
Yeah, same here.
When you order it plain, they take money off the total.
That's cool.
They took like 40 cents off the cost of the burger, which
Oh.
I don't know. That's probably unnecessary, but it's something that a lot of places don't do, but it makes sense. You're buying less food.
Right.
So that was a cool little thing too. And then by the way, I mentioned my order. I mentioned that on Twitter, and somebody went after me like, "You're making the life of a fast food worker more complicated by specializing your order."
Oh my god.
Wait, like how is ordering something plain? That's easier. It's
Yes.
less work.
Yeah, like it means you have to read the actual order, but I mean, outside of that, and the thing is too, like I get it that everybody's short-staffed, and I'm considerate of that when it comes to time. However, I shouldn't have to sacrifice what I prefer on a burger or on a food item because of that.
Right.
Like I'm still going to get the food that I'm going to eat the way I want to eat it.
You are giving them money.
Yes.
That's the transaction.
Yes, that's kind of how these things work. So yes, I am willing to keep obviously the situations with workers in mind in terms of time it takes to prepare the food. And maybe if something was done wrong, I'd be more more considerate to not like I'd never go off on people anyway, but like, you know, going off on someone because my order is wrong or something, you know,
Right.
like,
Or you just
it's
deal
not
with
gonna
the mistake and, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But like, I'm not going to be like, you know what? I should order this the standard way because, you know, I don't trust someone to read an order.
Well, that was
Like,
the
that's
guy's
not
point was also like, well, people are going to tamper with your food if they're annoyed that you ordered something special. Like I get like, and I'm sure I know that happens. Everybody's got their horror stories from restaurants,
Right.
but like I could see if I'm adding and modifying a whole bunch,
Sure.
like extra pickles and add barbecue sauce and put some honey on there. Like if I'm
Yeah.
putting a bunch of stuff that doesn't come with, that's different. But if I'm ordering plain or like hold the sour cream or hold the mayo, they have to construct it anyway.
Right.
I'm just taking this anyway. I think we're probably arguing with a real straw man. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anyone actually cares about that. But overall, Kurger Burger A+, really, really enjoyed it. And I might go steal the rest of Addie's. And I'm thinking now, what could have made it a little bit better? A little bit of marinara sauce on there.
Okay.
That might have really knocked it out of the park. Maybe next
Yeah.
time, if they make it again, maybe I'll warm some up and see how that goes, even to dip or whatever.
Interesting. Okay, because like when I got mine, I got my standard ketchup and mustard on it, like you know, it's like it was a standard burger, and that was good. But marinara could have done, marinara could have done that. That would have been good. But also for me, like I was like, ooh, what about barbecue sauce? But then again, I'd put barbecue sauce on everything, and I'd be happy.
I'd like to add, by the way, that in our preliminary discussions with Fredo's about the I'm Fat burger, this was a concept that we came up with.
That's true.
The Curter
It really
burger,
was.
before we knew that it was a thing, the idea of a cheese stick patty was bantied about between us and the fine folks at Fredo's, but we ended up going with the I'm Fat burger instead, which was a great idea because now it's permanent at Fredo's. So you can go right now to Fredo's, 628 South Roselle Road, order yourself an I'm Fat burger or a slice of I'm Fat pizza, and really make a day of it. But man, I don't want to just hype our stuff. I know our burgers were great. Every meal I've had at Fredo's, even before we had any sort of partnership with them in terms of sponsorship or in terms of specialty burgers, it's just so good. Everything there is fantastic, from the burgers to their pizza to the sides. Their fries are great. They've got the giant mozzarella sticks that are a meal in themselves. I ordered myself I'm burping just thinking about it. Like a 5-piece mozzarella stick from there. I'm like, well, this will just, I'll have this in a burger or something.
Yeah.
And I had 3 of those sticks, and I was like, oh, too full. Yep. Like I could barely finish it. Go visit Fredo's, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Try the I'm Fat burger, I'm Fat pizza, but don't just look at that. Their entire menu is great. They've got specialty stuff going all the time, so check that out as well. And make sure when you visit any of our sponsors, you let them know that you heard about them on the I'm Fat podcast, because that helps us out immensely.
The Cajun Bites. Get the Cajun Bites. They are wonderful.
I got to remember when I go.
And also realize that one order of them is enough for a minimum of 3 people.
Isn't there a way to set something in your phone to say, next time I'm here, remind me of this?
There probably is, but I'm old.
I got to figure that out.
I don't know how to do such things.
Now that I'm getting older, I need that more than ever.
Right.
All right. So, very happy about the Curter burger. Last night, my buddy Dan and my wife Hope, you may have heard of her, called to my attention the Google reviews for this new pizza place in Homewood. So if you're familiar with the area, the Cherry Creek Shopping Center, there's a Pops there, there's an Ace Hardware there. It's right on 183rd and Governor's Highway. There's like a whole plaza there. And Pops used to be attached to a Starbucks, which became a Gloria Jeans. Remember Gloria Jeans from the mall?
Oh my God, yeah.
That got destroyed by COVID because they just opened when COVID started, and then people weren't commuting and people forgot about it and they closed.
Oh, I was going to say, did you recommend it or something?
Yeah, seriously. It didn't actually explode. It just closed.
Okay.
So now the place there is called Home Slice Pizza. It's a little drive-through pizza place. And, they advertise serving home run-in pizza.
Oh.
Okay. So from the moment I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute. That's weird. Like, how do they have the ability to sell home run in pizza and not be a home run in, or have, the home run in logo, or have it called like home run in slices or something?
Sure.
Okay. On the Google reviews here, when you cut through the people that left 5-star reviews without going to help out their friend's business,
yes,
apparently, and I'm going to investigate this week, they're literally serving frozen home run in pizzas.
Oh, what?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's true, but I'm looking at the photos of these 1-star reviews that people have left. And look, you were just in Homewood. Homewood people are like, local business or we'll kill you.
Right.
Like, they want local business to succeed. This is a Jewel freezer frozen home run in pizza. I cannot be convinced otherwise. And I'm willing to go.
I mean, if you're going to do that, at least get the DiGiorno croissant crust.
Right.
And do it that way.
Oh my God. It's so funny. Like, how?
And it's so weird. Like, how do you get that as a concept of, you know what? We know people don't want to wait the 12 minutes to warm up a pizza or to bake a pizza. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna we're gonna do it for them and charge them even more.
But seriously, just go buy a pizza setup from there's like Italian delis will sell those.
Yeah.
And just make those for people. But don't go buy a frozen pizza. I mean, look, I will send you this link when the show's over and you can look for yourself. It looks like frozen pizza. And I'm looking at their menu and they also claim to have Lindy's chili.
What?
Yeah. The really famous place in Chicago. Okay, so Lindy's chili is spelled Lindys.
Yeah.
On their menu, it's
Is it like
Lynddys.
It's like wings versus wings.
So I don't know if it's the real Lindy's or not. Did they
Maybe
just?
they got suckered into getting like a different one.
I don't know, man. I am so curious to investigate this now.
That is such an odd concept.
Well, I thought that from the beginning. Like, how can they just serve home run in pizza and just claim it? Like they claim it on the door. Like, come eat home run in pizza. I have to know.
I wish. Now, how would you go around saying it's not home run in? Like, would you just say like it's grand slam out pizza?
No, just don't say anything.
Yeah,
just say it's yours, and then people won't
Right.
be suspicious. But as soon as they go and they order the slice and see that you're hyping it as home run in, guess what? People in Chicago have had home run in pizza. You may have heard.
yeah.
There's there's a few within a couple miles of here. Not a couple, but there's one at like 109th and Western, which is maybe a 20-minute drive, but you're 2/3 of the way to Los Angeles, so just keep going.
Right.
At that point, I mean, don't be a fool. That would just be stupid. But I'm going to go here and buy this because I'm so curious. I'm just
morbid curiosity.
I don't care if it's bad. I'll go to Pops and get a backup meal in case it's inedible.
Seriously.
But oh my god, it's so funny.
That's so random.
I just don't know how you can. I don't know. Maybe people are being jerks about it online, and if that's the case, I will come back here and correct. But based on the photos in the reviews, it's frozen ass home run in pizza. I know what that looks like.
Oh my god.
And then, like if you posted a picture of a Tombstone pizza, I would know it's a Tombstone pizza.
That's insane.
I don't.
Oh my god.
It's pretty
Okay.
wild.
So I said that you're going for morbid curiosity, and I didn't even realize how good of a transition this is.
Oh.
I just saw this, and it was in the on the fan page, posting a beer that is called Morbidly Obese Pug.
Okay.
It's a cookies and cream imperial stout from Maplewood Brewery and Distillery in Chicago. The closest like main intersection to it is Diversity and Western.
Okay.
It's like a couple blocks west and south of there, but that's like the main intersection that's right there. I'll just read the description on Beer Advocate.
All right.
A huge, chewy double milk stout that is filled to the brim with deep chocolate flavor, roasted chocolate malts, and cocoa nibs combine to deliver an intense punch worthy of the name Morbidly Obese Pug.
That sounds interesting.
I don't know that I would like it because I'm not that big on like beers that are essentially a meal.
Yeah. Same.
But I had to mention it at least because of the name and because I'd never heard of cookies and cream imperial stout before.
No, me neither. I will definitely try it. I mean, it sounds. I have learned in my later years, I'm just not a craft beer guy. I've tried and tried. Give me a Miller High Life every time. It just makes me happy. It tastes like beer. It's nice and cold. It's exactly what I want. I could drink six of them and feel a nice little buzz, call it a night, and not feel like I ate a newspaper. I do like sours. I know I'm going to get the beer stops and be like, oh, you like sours. You're supposed to consume as many hops as possible, coward.
Right.
No. I
not
like
for
stuff.
me.
I have this weird thing where I like stuff that tastes good.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna hard pass that. But the cookies and cream sounds good. I will try Morbidly Obese Pug if I see it at my local beer retailer, which I have an awesome liquor store by us. Family Liquors is just the greatest.
I'm like 90% sure I've mentioned it before, but not for a while. I know like maybe like once or twice a year, you and the family will go out in like the Geneva area. And if you're a big fan of sours, like Penrose Brewing in Geneva has really good sours.
I've been there and you're right. That is good stuff. Couple weeks ago, I failed to mention this last week, so I just want to update. We talked about the Milky Way bar and how it's no one ever listed as their favorite. So I went seeking out a Milky Way bar from the what I call it, Temptation Island. As you're checking out, like here's all the candy that you can grab as you're about to leave. And finally, after like 3 different places, they had it at Walmart.
Okay.
And it was the double, they call it 2 bars, but it's like 2 3/4 size
like
bars.
King size one or whatever.
Right. There's something different about the one you buy in store versus the ones in the Halloween pack.
Really?
And I have to say, the Halloween ones are better. The one I got from the Temptation Island was super, like almost too chewy.
Really?
And the caramel was a little, there was more caramel, I will say that, but it was a little bit too firm. Like it wasn't a creamy caramel.
Okay.
And
it wasn't, it needed to be closer to like a caramello type thing.
Yeah, I think part of the problem, it may have been like an old one. Because
Yeah.
again, if people are just not buying Milky Ways, they're probably
True.
sitting there longer than your average Snickers or whatever else. But I have to say, I preferred the snack size or the fun size Milky Way to the proper that you buy at the checkout. But I mean, it was still excellent. But I would, whatever they do with the fun size, just make that the candy bar, because that's to me
Yes.
that's better.
I will say, I love, and mind you, I the name says it too. It's even more basic, but the Milky Way Simply Caramel is incredible.
So what? So
love it.
what do they
It's
take out of it?
It's literally just like the chocolate and the caramel,
Oh,
and that is it.
okay. Have
It
you ever
is
had
wonderful.
Have you ever had a car marsh from Fannie Mae?
No.
It is a graham cracker base,
Okay.
but very, very light, with marshmallow. On top of the marshmallow is a layer of caramel, and then it's covered in either dark or milk chocolate. So if you drive by a Fannie Mae,
Yeah.
stop it and get yourself some car marsh. They're amazing. I think it is their current bestseller,
Okay.
which is saying something for a place that's been around. By the way, my mom loves that place, so I find myself in there a few times a year.
I feel like it's a very, like, it's not as prevalent anymore, but like the next generation older than us,
Yes.
that's like a staple.
Well, look, boomers that grew up in the 80s with expendable income, right? Like not grew up, but that were adults in the 80s.
Right.
And were making a fair wage and all that, like where my dad could support a family of 4 on his own, like those sort of things.
Imagine.
Right. You were able to spend money on premium candy, and people just aren't willing to do that. But every time I walk in that place, so Valentine's Day, my mom's birthday, and Christmas, I am amazed how clean it is in there. That place is pristine
'Cause
all
nobody's
the
ever in
time.
there.
No, but it's always been that way.
Yeah,
Even when I
no,
was
it
a
has.
kid, you'd walk in there and it smells clean. It smells like chocolate. The glass is spotless. The carpet is perfect. And everything in there is white or red. There's no like dark colors hiding anything. So if there's a stain on the rug, you're going to see it. I don't know how they do it, but Fannie Mae's are like I would seriously eat a meal off the counter. Even during COVID, I'm just like, whatever. I'm sure this is perfectly clean. I've always been impressed and amazed by that. But now I get creeped out because when I go in there, it's always just one lady working by herself. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's off-putting. It's like, are you okay? Do you want me to hang out for a while? Like, I'll stay here for a few hours for in exchange for a couple pieces of candy.
Yeah,
That's
right?
fine. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. They have like a pretty secure back room, but I don't know. I just get those vibes when I'm in there. Like, you're in here by yourself? Like, you're a 75-year-old woman.
Yeah. Like that's
Maybe she's got a shotgun
Unsettling.
behind the counter that we don't know. That's why we keep the carpet red. So anyone that comes in and we blow away, it just blends in. All right. Well, that was morbid.
yeah, right?
By the way, we should tell you about our friends at Mazda of Orland Park. I'm going there for an oil change this week because I'm well overdue, as I always am. And they, like you mentioned, our bank accounts, like
Yes.
sending us polite emails. Like the Mazda of Orland Park has like the automated, hey, you're approximately 9,000 miles overdue for an oil change.
Right. And then Eric texts you, hey, dummy.
Hey, dumbass. Please come in here. Your car is going to fall apart. But it won't because it's a Mazda. It's a Mazda CX-5 2015. Call Eric, 708-444-3200. Go buy yourself a brand new Mazda. Treat yourself. It'll be the best car you've ever owned. I love my CX-5. My next car will probably be another CX-5, just a more recent model. And hopefully soon. Looking forward to maybe in the new year getting a new car. So, and when we do, it'll be at Mazda of Orland Park. Visit MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Again, call 708-444-3200. They'll get you squared away. And look, you can buy a car anywhere, but what you're paying for and what what the difference is the service and the people. And you're not going to find better service or better people than you find at Mazda of Orland Park. That is a personal Jay Zawoski guarantee. I do not endorse things I do not believe in. I believe in Mazda of Orland Park. So again, give Eric Vates a call, 708-444-3200. All right, I've got one more thing I want to get to.
Okay.
As the weather was crappy this week, I didn't want to venture outside for lunch too many times. So I went to Burger King twice. Got myself the Chiking spicy, which I very much like.
Yes.
But can't figure out the spice on. It's different.
Okay.
Have you had it yet?
I think I had it once, like when it was new, and then I haven't since, and I kind of forgot what it tastes like.
Yeah, the sauce is different. It's not a Nashville. It's not a Buffalo. It's very good, but I just can't put my finger on what is the flavor profile of the Chiking. So if you're one of those people that can get the nuance of a flavor and tell me what it is, I'd love to know. The other thing I discovered, they've got mozzarella sticks on their menu.
Yes, they do.
You can get 8 mozzarella sticks for $2.50.
I didn't realize that.
Yes. Because I had a hankering for a frozen Coke. The Pedway one does not have frozen Coke, to my chagrin. And so I drove through. I'm like, well, I have to get food. I don't want to be a pig and just have a frozen Coke. So I'm like, well, I'll get some mozzarella sticks. And she goes, 4 or 8. I said, how much is the 8? $2.50. I'm like, let's go.
Yes.
Maybe it might be $2.89, but it's less than $3. Whatever it is, it's less than $3.
Right, which is crazy.
Yeah, so there's a pro tip. Go get yourself some mozz sticks for a very low price. Now, I'm not going to say they're like the best mozzarella sticks you've ever had. They're not like A-level, super crispy, that sort of thing, but they're very, very good for the price. That's for sure.
You know who has, now they're more expensive, obviously, but like who has sneakily good mozzarella sticks is Arby's.
I have not had that.
Yes.
All right.
That may have been when I would go to Arby's when I was working in Lombard, when I was working at the Illinois Media School. There's an Arby's right down the street, like maybe a 3-minute drive.
I'm writing that down, Arby's. Because I want to try that rib sandwich too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That looks pretty good. I might have to temporarily forgive them for taking ham off the menu.
Yes. Yeah, just to give that a spin. So, I'll make a note to do that too. But I would get my like beef and cheddar, whichever size I was feeling that day, get, the large curly fries, and then I would get the like small order of the mozzarella sticks. And it's like the 4, I think they have like a 4 and a 6, and I don't remember the price offhand, but it's more than the Burger King.
I don't know how I missed that.
But yeah, like they're I like them.
Okay.
Pretty damn solid.
And I saw a thing in the elevator there. What do they call it? I forget what they call that service that has like the news in the elevator. And they mentioned the Wendy's fries.
Yeah, we've gotten some people like on Twitter saying, "Hey, these are actually legit."
They said they tested like 100 different cuts and 100 different kind before they decided on these. So
this one made the cut?
Yes, and it said that they were like in blind taste, and this was a news story. This is not like a Wendy's ad. It said in a blind taste test they were preferred 2-1 to McDonald's.
Wow.
So,
well, we're doing one of two things this week,
or both.
We're either going to Arby's and Wendy's, or we're going to get the rib sandwich and mozzarella sticks from Arby's, and then go to Wendy's and get the fries and do the me special.
Well, that's dinner and supper. That's 2 meals.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, is it time to ask the Fats?
It is.
Does this sound familiar? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows. You're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friend's login for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all that entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes, and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part? There's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
This episode is brought to you by Whole Foods. Think Whole Foods Market for lunch and dinner, because getting your freshly prepared favorites is easier than ever. You can order for delivery or in-store pickup with the Whole Foods Market app. Get hot soups, sandwiches, melty pizza with your favorite toppings, even sushi. Hungry yet? Just download the Whole Foods Market app, go to the Order tab, and place your order now. Available on iOS only, in select stores only.
This episode is brought to you by CVS Health. Your health journey shouldn't be defined by the destination, but by all the little steps and big wins that happen along the way. That's why CVS Health is working to make healthier feel more achievable and more human. By expanding access and providing more helpful services, from virtual care to prescription delivery to mental health resources. CVS Health. Healthier happens together. Learn more at cvshealth.com.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
The Ask a Fat segment, as always, is brought to you by our friend Charlie the Bacon Guy, who's joining us now from the back of a B-52 bomber with his bacon report.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have maple pepper, rosemary pepper garlic, buffalo, ranch, Korean barbecue, and apple butter bacon. Bacon jams, we have original, bourbon, habanero, peach bourbon, and the apple butter bacon jam. Everybody have a great week. Oh, I can smell my Curter burger now. For the bacon report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy. I'm going to eat this thing.
See, doing Morse code too?
Yeah, he's opening his bag of the Curter burger. He's always doing his research for the show.
Yes.
That's funny. You did your little bomb sound effects, and I was going to sing "Love Shack Baby," but I didn't want the I didn't want the Curter burger bit to be left out. All right, get yourself some bacon from Charlie. So many of you have done it. Keep doing it. It's great. Bacon prices are high. If you're going to spend a lot of money for bacon, spend money on good bacon. And Charlie's got the good bacon. As we all know, based out of Woodridge, he sells bacon and bacon jams, always a nitrate and nitrite-free product, all naturally cured and applewood hickory smoked thick sliced bacon. How do you order? Yes, very simple. Charlie the Bacon Guy at gmail.com. Hit him up on Instagram at Charlie the Bacon Guy or on Twitter at CZ the Bacon Guy. You heard the flavors on the Bacon Report. Shipping anywhere in the lower 48 is a flat fee of $15. So get your friends together, get your family together, and place a big bacon order with Charlie. You will not regret it. And if you just order like, I just want to try a pound, I've never had it before, but you're going to pay $15 for shipping on a pound of bacon, and you're going to be pissed you didn't order more. So just order more. Double that order, triple that order. It freezes up beautifully, thaws out nicely, no freezer burn. It is airtight sealed, vacuum sealed, wrapped. You're good to go. So get as much bacon as you think you can need in the next little bit here. If delivery if shipping is out of the question, he can deliver to you personally. If you live in the Western Burbs, that's right. Charlie will come to you with your bacon, or you can meet him somewhere in the middle if shipping is cost prohibitive. Charlie's going to make it work for you, so make it work for him. Again, Charlie the Bacon Guy at gmail.com, Instagram, Charlie the Bacon Guy, and on Twitter at CZ the Bacon Guy. Okay, so we asked people to call us up and leave us their reviews of the Curter Burger.
Yes.
And they did. And it was too much, and we're not going to play them all. So,
we don't want to have a 3-hour podcast?
No. So this morning, I woke up and I put together a bit of it's going to take a montage of people leaving reviews. So
montage.
Yes. So here is the montage of I'm Fat podcast listeners reviewing the Culver's Curter Burger.
Thank you for choosing Flexible Culver's. What can I get started fast for you? Hey, do you guys have the Coder Burger still?
This is Sean out in Carroll Stream.
This is Bank from Mount Greenwood.
Hey, Fats. This is Matt from Tennessee. I am the lucky man who got the double curded burger. I am very, very happy.
Gooey, cheesy. I feel that, like, the pictures online, they didn't do it much justice.
It was delicious. There is a bit of a learning curve. You really want to start with your sides and let the curd patty cool off a little bit, because if you just dive right in like I did, then you're going to have some of the cheese. It's going to seep out a bit, and you're not going to get as much cheese in every bite.
This burger is so great. We have Friday lunch paid for by the company. I went and got this burger anyway and ate it, and still came back and ate lunch. It's ridiculous.
When you took a bite, it kind of fell apart a little bit. And so some of the curd that fell to my tray, I went and just dipped in cheese sauce and had some cheese and suction.
The only drawback is now I want the giant cheese curd to be a normal thing where you can just order it like a hash brown at McDonald's breakfast.
This is a really good burger. I think the fact that it's a cheese curd is a really good idea. Instead of it becoming too saucy, it actually holds together well enough to match up with the butter and the grease. So it's a little bit greasier than the normal Carver's burger, but it's still cleaner to eat.
This curd burger, Culver's is onto something. 83 out of 10.
There you have it. I love the high-pitched guy at the end. This burger, you know what I mean? This burger, this Culver's got to figure it out. That's why I put him last. He did my Chicago guy. It might be his actual voice, but I liked it.
Right.
So yeah, consensus very strong. Now there were some people that were like, I probably wouldn't go back and get it again, but I'm glad I had it. But for the most part, everyone was very, very happy with the Curder Burger. So hopefully, if you wanted one, you were able to get one. And if you want to hear our review, just fast forward 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or rewind 45 minutes.
Rewind, yeah.
Good job. I'm good at this. I've done this before.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, next one here comes from Kyle.
Hey, fellow Fats. This is Kyle from Indianapolis. I'm currently waiting outside of the Culver's in Westfield for the almighty Critter Burger. I couldn't help but notice Titus Bakery is literally right across the street. So I've already made up my mind, and I'm going to swing by there afterwards, get myself a maple bacon donut, and probably a dirty nut stick, which is a donut, I swear. But it's got me thinking. A month or so ago, I'm sitting down at church when the pastor says something that snaps me back to focus. He's asking stuff like, who has more than one favorite sports team, a favorite this, or more than one favorite this, more than one favorite that. Everyone raises their hands every time. But then he asks, who has more than one favorite donut shop? Silence. No hands go up. He goes on about how people tend to be fiercely loyal to their local donut purveyor and tend to get into heated debates about it, especially around here where there's a lot of uproar about how the Indiana Donut Trail left out literally every Indianapolis shop on there. So anyway, my question is, who is your go-to for donuts? Thanks, and Rick, from one NIU alum to another, go Huskies.
Yeah.
I mean, we have done the bakery show many times. And if you've missed it, by the way, go back and listen to Between Two Fats with Jennifer Billock. She is the author of the Historic Chicago Bakeries book, which I am meaning to pick up. I just have not gotten to a bookstore. Stupid job with like normal hours, like a normal person.
Right?
God, I hate it. But I'm going to get that. But it was great. My favorite is Calumet Bakery. That is the best chocolate donut I've ever had. Wolf's Bakery on 95th Street is a close second. Those are my two favorites for sure. I mean, if we're talking chains, to me, it's Krispy Kreme way up here.
Yes.
And then everybody else, like including Stan's and Do Right and whatever, are like a level below that. But to me, as far as a chain food item goes, I don't know if anything tops a Krispy Kreme donut.
No, actually, next in line for chain for me might actually just be like some of what they have for the Tellerico Martin at 7-Eleven.
Those are great.
It's so good. I've only had it a couple times because it's not close to me necessarily, but man, the old fashioned from Huck Finn's is tough to beat, man.
Those are good too.
It's so good and gigantic.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's because I just don't eat a whole lot of breakfast in general that I don't eat a whole lot of donuts anymore. Like, obviously, if one is offered or if they're like at work or something, of course I'm eating them.
Right.
But it's just like I work a little bit like, well, at least until Wednesday, I start work at noon. So, or I have to be at work at noon. So I don't necessarily have to be up as early, which is nice.
Well.
So breakfast is breakfast was a little less relevant. However, starting Wednesday, it's going to be very relevant.
Well,
so
that
will probably be changing.
I think I told you that Amazon shop has Krispy Kremes in there.
Well, that just solved a lot of things.
Yeah. They got a lot of stuff in there, actually. They've got they got like breakfast sandwiches that are hot and ready to go they're pretty fresh. Like Layla's had them a couple times and she really likes them. So you've got options. There's also, we got Starbucks in the Pedway.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Au Bon Pawn, which was Barry Rosner's favorite place. If you want lava soup, they have it there. If you want to order soup and then eat it next Wednesday, they've got that for you. What else I think, does Potbelly have breakfast? Some do. So. I think some do.
Okay.
And then there's a McDonald's in the Aeon Center. So you've got some options around there. You'll find, and then Stan's is right there if you want Stan's.
That's true.
And Stan's has breakfast sandwiches, which I didn't know. I got to remember to try. That's an assignment for this week. I got to try a Stan's breakfast sandwich because how could that be bad?
Right.
All right. We got one more voicemail.
Hey, guys. It's Russ. I'd love to congratulate Rick for getting the EP job for the Bernstein and Rahimi show, continuing the Circle of Fat.
Thank you.
I was wondering, when you talked about the Circle of Fat, who was the midday producer before Jay, and were they also a fat? Have a good day, guys.
That is a great question.
I don't even
Do you know?
think I know the answer because when I started interning was like a couple months after the Danny Mac show started. The Danny Mac show ... with Matt Spiegel or whatever,
right.
However it was labeled at the time. So you were in that slot by the time I got to the score.
Help me with time frame. 09?
Yeah, that was the last couple. Yeah, for me, it was like the last third of 09. I was an intern.
Okay.
So still at NBC.
So, yeah, Danny Mac and Spieg started in 09. Before that, I was the midday producer for Murph for 3 years. So the midday producer before me was a guy named Cy Strezzo, who was, you know Cy.
I do know Cy.
Cy was a character, man. I love Cy. Great guy, funny, like just an awesomely unique person.
Mm-hmm.
Cy was not fat at all, but he ate like the fattest person in the world.
Yes.
We have discussed the breaded steak sandwich from Freddy's on 31st and Union several times on this show, where it is basically a pounded flat steak that's roughly the size of like a side table top.
Yes.
Folded over and stuffed into French bread. And I'm sorry, I forgot to deep fry it and cover it in marinara sauce. Cy had one of those every day.
It's insanity.
Every day, Cy had one of those sandwiches. A breaded steak from Freddy's every day. So if you're a Sox fan next year, when you get the chance to go to a game again, sorry, Sox fans, get yourself a breaded steak from Freddy's. You're going to love it. It's delicious. And then think that a guy who probably weighed 125 pounds soaking wet.
That's just not fair.
Well, don't worry. His heart will explode in due time. But he had one of those every day because he lived like right across the street. Like right where that Maria's Tavern is now. Cy lived like right there in a house, maybe right above that even. I don't know if it was that exact property, but he was right there. So he would just wake up because he worked nights or he would come home and have that at night every day. He would have a breaded steak. So he was not physically fat, but he was emotionally fat, which is just as good in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So good for Cy. I hope he's doing well. I have not seen him in a while. We did a score reunion when I moved back to Homewood because this girl, Meg, who used to work in our traffic department, lives here too. She's like, oh, I'd love to see everybody again. So I just put out like an APV for everybody who ever worked there.
Yeah.
And Cy showed up like, oh my God, Cy came. I couldn't believe he showed up, and he came and held court, and it was wonderful.
Did.
So
that was where I met him.
Yes, he had no censor on his profanity with the children around at all, and it was great. But so yeah. So I hope Cy is doing well. All right, let's get to the Ask a Fats and we'll wrap this puppy up.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
Boom. This part of Ask a Fat is not sponsored yet, but it will be next week. Beep, beep, beep.
Nice.
That's a tease. Got one here from Unsigned. Thanks, Unsigned. He says, do you guys have any foodgasm moments in TV or cinema? I was rewatching Death Proof the other day, and the main character was eating the sloppiest plate of nachos. I was fixated and needed those damn nachos immediately. I dropped everything, ran to the store, grabbed the proper accoutrement, and had one hell of a feast that night. Do the fats have a similar experience? Also, Rick, congrats on the new job.
Oh, thank you. When I hear accoutrement now, I just think of 40-year-old virgin.
Yes, that's why I did it that way.
It's so great. You know, I spent 3.5 hours, like 3.5 hours, you know, making the mayonnaise. And then by the time I finished, I just didn't want the sandwich anymore. Cool.
Movies that can't be made anymore.
Oh, dude.
Actually, I gotta watch that one. They could probably tweak it a little bit and get, you know.
I don't know why, but I've watched it twice within the last month. And like, well, because I was at the wedding last weekend, and it was like, okay, hanging out with friends from college, and that movie came out right when I was in college. It came out like my sophomore or junior year of college.
Yeah.
So like just perfect timing to appreciate that on like every single level. So we watched it like one of the nights we were there. So it's just basically like, let's get drunk, eat Pizza Hut, because, you know, the people I was with, and this is the thing, you know, when you're leaving Chicago, and even if you're going to a place that doesn't really have anything that they're known for food-wise.
Like Clinton, Iowa?
Yes, like Clinton, Iowa.
Yes.
Maybe, just maybe, and I understand it was late, and we just needed anything that was open. But Pizza Hut, fam, this is what we're doing. I mean, mind you, I went along with it because, of course, you know, Pizza Hut's not bad. It's just like a philosophical discussion.
Yeah. I kind of like Pizza Hut, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not bad by any stretch.
And by the way, I got to say, too, Domino's has lapped Pizza Hut. And I don't know if I mentioned this on the pod.
Yeah.
You got to get the pan Domino's pizza.
Okay.
And then the stuffed cheesy bread from Domino's. Dude, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Domino's has become our go-to pizza place around here.
Wow.
I know.
So much for all local, you jerk.
Well, it's in Homewood. We get tax credit, right? I don't know. Yeah, it's just for the price and for the taste. It's there in 20 minutes. It's amazing. But anyway, my food scene is not Andy making an egg salad sandwich, because I would throw up if I ate one of those.
Yes.
It is the scene in Goodfellas where they're making the pasta in prison, where they have the razor blade and they're slicing the garlic.
It's a really great system.
I am just, when I see that scene, I get like goosebumps and my mouth waters.
Yep. It's so good. Like that, and that's the same answer for me, because I think that's the GOAT food scene.
Yes.
In movies, especially, like, it's tough to beat that, because like it's one thing for the food to look great in a scene that's about other things, but this is a scene that truly at its core is about the food. It's about being able to get the good things from life that they had outside and get them inside. And they were using the food as the example. So the food was the star of the scene.
Right.
It's just, yeah. And like, yeah, watching Paulie slice the garlic super thin like that is just the essence. Like, that's it right there.
I've got one more that's close, but it's too unrealistic, so it'll never actually happen, so it makes me sad. The first time you see the chocolate room in Willy Wonka, where everything there is edible, and they're like taking the cream off the flowers, and there's giant gummy bears everywhere, and doesn't Willy Wonka eat a teacup? Isn't that like he takes a sip of tea and then just bites the cup? Like, that entire scene where everything you look at is edible as a kid was just amazing. And then Augustus Gloop shaming fats forever by falling into the chocolate river.
Right. But I mean, everything is edible. Everything's cake.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
It's not chocolate, but it could be chocolate cake.
By the way, you don't know this because you don't run the show Instagram. I do, poorly. Every day, someone sends us different Instagram videos of cake food.
He sends them to me. He sends them to me personally too. Every day I open up Instagram.
Tar
Yes.
2000?
Yes.
I'm just scrolling back. There's got to be 50
There's
on
some
here.
there's more than that. The most recent one is a hairbrush.
That's the one I got too.
Then there's a fillet of salmon in a bag. Before that is a Game Boy. One of these is a snake that looks way too much actually like a snake.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, see, the one I would never hit play on is it's a bulldog. And I don't need to see a knife going through a bulldog.
Oh, I've seen that one before.
Even if it's a cake bulldog.
That one does look real too.
Yeah, and I wish they didn't have so many health problems associated with them. And this is where me having a mom that was a vet tech forever and has worked with dogs her entire life really bites me in the butt of just bulldogs have so many health issues that it's really tough to justify unless you just have all the money, to really be able to have one without, having to deal with some of that stuff down the road.
My cousin Dave had a bulldog named Dude. It was just a perfect name for him. And by the time the dog was 3 years old, it could barely walk or move. And it's tough. I need low maintenance dogs. Like Ray was really super low maintenance, even though she died suddenly because she got Lyme disease. But before that, she was just
doesn't get more low maintenance than that.
Yeah, I come pre-installed.
Yeah.
I'm just you want me to sit? Okay, right here. Want me to put my chin on your knee? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting there, man. We're getting ready. We're about to the point where we're ready to adopt again.
Nice.
So
whenever I'm able to get a dog, I've already got the name picked out, unless it's just completely doesn't fit. But so I've got the name picked out, which will be great. And it
peanut butter.
No, I want to like the dog, not despise it. No, the name Bunk.
I like that.
Yeah, because it's for me, I wouldn't probably ever get this any super athletic dog or anything like that. The most I'd probably do, for me, it's anybody who's watched The Wire. Bunk is hilarious. He's a bigger dude. And probably the most funny one of the funniest characters in that entire series. So just that type of personality is exactly what I would want to have in a dog.
That's great. That's a great name.
And it's and you also think of when I need to call out this name, will it cut through to where the dog will hear me?
Yeah.
So if you have a bunch of soft syllables on there, it's probably not going to be that great. But if you have something hard, at least the K on the end there, you're good.
That's smart. See, you know what you're doing. It's time for you to do it. I know you can't because of your living situation, right?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to have pets there?
Yeah, but it's up to 20 pounds is the limit.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's not great. And there's a possibility, but I also, one thing, even though I know that I could be good with training a dog, the one thing that I've never had to do that blows my mind is potty training a dog in a building where you have to go down the elevator and do all that stuff. So it could be a few minutes the dog before you're actually able to take the dog out. That's a thing that would be extremely challenging for me, and I don't know if I want to tackle that yet. All right. Now the one from Mark Mack, from Tinley Park. The most widely used method is to buy a belt that is 1 to 2 inches larger than your pant size, or as some say, one size up. Example, if you wear a size 36 pant, imagine, Jay, you would order a size 38 belt. We do not make odd sizes, 33, 35, 37, etc., so you'd have to go with a belt that is 2 inches larger. P.S. I hate to have to tuck in any dress shirt. Love the show. So that makes me think of, and I think I clicked away from it. Someone DM'd us on Twitter. Nathan DM'd us the ratchet belts.
Oh, I got an email about that too. I can read it right here. So he says, I have a perfect solution for you. It's called the ratchet belt. It's amazing. I think the original was on Shark Tank, and I got one for Christmas a few years ago. You don't need belt holes, and you'll never need to buy a different size belt again. Check it out, Ratchet Belt. Tons of options on Amazon and everywhere else belts are sold. I love the podcast. Keep up the good work. That's from Dave. I will look into the ratchet belt. My question, though, is who's the dumbass who was like, how do we size belts? Well, we should size them for the size pants they wear. No, we should not do that. We should make them buy a size up and then not put that anywhere on the labeling and just make people figure it out. And you can't try on a belt because it's got the weird, like, the hook hanger that is attached and you can't access the belt strap. All right, now I know. Next time I'll get a bigger belt. I'm gonna try the ratchet belt. I wonder how expensive it is. I think anything sold online is ridiculously expensive. I always had this game with hope.
Yeah, it depends on. I'm seeing some here that I can't tell if they're more regular belts, but I'm seeing like 16, 18, $20.
I'm trying to find like the brand.
Some of these like, yeah. Well, this is saying like, it says Merino Avenue, the original ratchet belts.
Right.
I don't know. That's what Amazon is telling me.
I gotta find them. I will do some research because it is frustrating, and I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever noticed anyone's belt buckle in my life, unless they're wearing like an old Western, like a Texas size belt buckle.
Yeah.
But I'm very self conscious about how how little slack there is on mine.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. On my belts, I'm on that very last loop there.
Yeah, because I bought the size of my pants.
Yes, exactly.
Stupid. It's dumb.
Whatever.
All right, well, that was a good show, man. I think we got a little long, but I think we failed to do our propers, so make sure you check out our TeePublic shop. That link is in our bio. We've got lots of cool stuff in there always. Patreon.
Is there a sale right now?
It actually ended last night, unfortunately.
I lied.
So, but there's always sales. Just keep your eye on our Twitter and Instagram. We let you know when there's sales. What else? Patreon/I'mFatPod. If you want to chip in a few bucks a month, that's super helpful.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe again so we can juke the algorithms here and get boosted up ye ol' rankings.
Yep,
that's always a good thing.
We're on social media everywhere at I'mFatPod, including Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can email us imfatpod@gmail.com. And don't forget to call the Fat Phone 708-858-3314. Rick, bring it home.
For Jay, I'm Rick, and this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
All right, I think we got a lot accomplished here today.
Bet with your friends on WynnBET Sportsbook today using promo code BlueWire to get up to $1,000 toward a risk-free sports bet. Sign up now at WYNNBet.com. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.